welcome back to Failsafe Radio. This is JT.
And Heather.
And we are back for another episode.
Episode number 4?
Yes, episode 4. And this one is all about rock music.
Yes.
And I am very excited to get this one going.
Mm-hmm.
Heather, you chose some really good songs.
Oh, you like them?
Yeah, you did. I'm really excited. When you first came up with the idea of doing a rock-focused episode, it took me a while. I went through a bunch of different ideas. I felt like initially I was thinking rock in a traditional sense, and then I was thinking like, all right, in your face, urgent music. And I had a hard time selecting songs just because there's so much there. When I first started, it was all like classic rock, things that I grew up on from my dad's childhood or whatnot, or like songs that I just felt were important to include. But then when I got yours back, I was like, all right, I'm going to follow Heather's cue and kind of just go with introducing some of my favorite rock tracks from my youth or teenage years. And then I figured like later on we'd save an episode devoted to classics.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I loved it. I took a lot of inspiration from your picks.
Awesome. And I didn't think at all.
It just comes naturally for you.
It was like I was picking songs probably for the other episodes, and I was like, wow, these are all really great rock songs. I'll just put them on this list.
And then you're like, hey, we should do a rock episode. Yeah, I'm excited. And I felt like it would be cool or not necessary, but I thought I wanted to take a second before we started our batch of songs to clarify a little something that you might see in some of the songs. I know a lot of people are either not huge fans of screaming in music, screamo, and I thought it would be cool to take a second to just clarify some scream choices in songs. I'm typically not a fan of straightforward screamo, which I guess you could say would be a form of rock that's literally just all screaming throughout the whole song. Not typically my cup of tea. However, with that said, I feel like there's something special when there is screaming in music, when it's used like a seasoning on food. When it's used properly in the right moment and the right amount, I believe it can enhance the delivery and emotion of a song. So I thought this would be a good point to bring out before we dove into these selections, because there are some songs that might include some screamo, and just like some seasonings aren't for everyone, some subgenres of music aren't for everyone, and that's completely okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I would say you're very considerate of our listeners, because I did not think about them at all. I was thinking, I was gonna say I don't know where the songs that I picked fall in, but I just know that the screaming that is on it, I do enjoy it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we all have our own personal music tastes and preferences, and I thought this was cool because I ask our listeners after or before or while listening to this episode, I guess, you give these 20 songs a listen and at least give them a taste for what we've prepared for you and see what you think. Clearly, we've made it known from the beginning of the show that the main point of the show is just two friends hanging out, discussing music that we love. But another vital part of the show is to just share with our listeners, whoever decides to listen, some songs that they might not have ever heard before. And if you ask me, those are the moments I feel are the ones I'm most excited to hear feedback from, because it could be a new song, band, or genre you've never given a chance, and maybe you're a fan of them now. Or maybe you listen to them and you decide it's not for you. That's cool too. But really,
give it a try.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Let this show begin those types of conversations among your groups of friends, just like Heather and I are here. And it's literally what you're hearing between us during each episode. We're just having a real conversation. So that's where the real stuff exists, I feel like. So without further ado, let's dive into Heather's first pick of the episode. A classic, Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Classic riff, classic chorus. What made you choose this song?
I guess this one, so this one I would say is like the classic rock pick of mine. The rest of them are pretty much from the 90s.
That's why I put it first. I thought it was a good intro.
This is such an iconic song. The energy is fantastic for it. It's a great road trip song, I feel.
Yes.
I love it. It comes with instructions. The first line is "Get your motor running, get out on the highway," and it's like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the riff, awesome riff. And I can't decide if I want to play air guitar or air drums to this song. Like I want to do both of this song.
Or just rock
Just
out.
headbang to it.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny. I put that as one of my notes as like a great road trip or driving song. Classic riff, classic chorus. I love the simplicity of the one-liner in the chorus, married with an unforgettable sing-along melody. Like, come on, Born to Be Wild. There's nothing more iconic than that, I feel like. And this is a great song. I think was used a lot in the 90s for car commercials.
Yeah, I think it was used for everything.
Yeah. I also like the secondary melody. I think it's some type of organ or Wurlitzer that's being used. It's nice. And I've got a fun fact for you.
Oh, here we go.
This is something I feel like is a Heather type fact.
Okay.
This song reminds me of a classic Jonathan Taylor Thomas film,
No, really?
Wild
Nice.
America. I remember there was a scene where they're in the car and they're singing it, and the movie's about three brothers who go cross country, and they're like going on a camping trip to film encounters with wildlife. It was in 97, so the 90s was a truly wholesome time. But yeah, that was my little note for that song.
Awesome.
Yeah, good pick. Good intro
song.
to
Good song.
rock. All right, our next one, a choice from yours truly, Linkin Park, One Step Closer, August 29th, 2000, the song that introduced the world to Linkin Park. And I can confidently say that the music scene was never the same again.
Yes.
What did you think of this song?
So this one, this band, a couple others, if you had not have picked them, I was going to pick them. But
Excellent.
I didn't. But since you picked them, and I think you sent me your list first, and you had them locked out on, I was like, all right, I'll find something else. Yeah, love Linkin Park. This song is incredible. And I learned this little riffy riff. Don't think I was playing it quite right, but yeah, man, it's such a great song. It's a great song. What was I gonna say? It's a great song to vent to. Like if you just need to get something off your chest, maybe go sit in your car, lock the doors, don't drive, but just turn up the radio and just let it out.
Drive, by all means, drive.
But yeah, great song. Great
Yeah, I can confidently say, I feel like I speak for a lot of our listeners around my age, saying that here's a band very near and dear to our hearts that had a huge impact on my music tastes going forward, as well as my creativity when it comes to songwriting and making music and stuff. 23 years later, and this music continues to be discovered and inspiring younger generations. That makes me proud. I thought it's cool when you listen to it, there's like a calm delivery of the verses, but then the chorus is just so intense. And there's that little break in the pre-chorus, just like before. And the chorus, there's like a cool call and response feel of the lines. Everything you say to me is one, and then takes me one step closer to the edge. It's like they captured rage inside someone's mind so beautifully. And we have our first example of screaming in this song. And, I feel like it's a good way that they delivered the feeling of frustration, that internal conflict inside. I thought it was cool. The lyrics for the song were inspired. They were written by Chester Bennington, and he was just frustrated handing lyrics to their producer John Gilmore, because he would give him lyrics for the song only for him to hand the lyrics back to him and tell him to rewrite them.
Yeah.
And he said when we were recording it, Don was really drilling me and Mike about lyrics, and it had gotten to the point where we had rewritten some songs 30 times. And I remember walking to the control room, handing Don the lyrics, and he grabbed them, passed them in front of his face without even looking, handed them back to me and told me to do it again. So I kind of lost my mind thinking this guy's a maniac, but that kind of inspired the lyrics. I cannot take this anymore. I'm saying everything I've said before. And then they had the chorus. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge. It's
That's
great.
Awesome.
So he said, so I guess in the end, he inspired me the way he wanted to.
Right.
The rest is history, folks.
Yep.
Awesome. Great song. Any other thoughts on that one?
It's a great song.
Yeah. Great song. Classic. Never gets old. Song 2 by Blur from 1997. Great pick.
Woohoo!
And when I saw this on your list, I was like, man, I forgot about this song. Explain yourself.
All right, what did I write down? Woohoo! A headbanger.
Yeah.
I love the distortion on the bass.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The way that sounds.
I had a note on that too, yeah.
What else did I write? This song is one that you play in the living room while you jump on the furniture when your parents aren't home.
Which I still do to this day.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a cool little quick song.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a couple minutes long. Yeah, it's just fun, loose, fuzzy.
Yeah.
Fuzzy sounding. I don't know. It's just really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no need to decipher lyrics here. It's just the song is a good time with a good vibe. And sometimes that's all you need in a song. I love it. It's funny. It's called Song 2 because it appears as the second track on the album. Mm-hmm. It's 2 minutes and 2 seconds long, composed of 2 verses, 2 choruses, and fun, cool thing, it reached number 2 on the UK singles chart. So 2 is the
That's
magic
awesome.
number. I was thinking about it because it was released in 97. There was something in the water in 1997 because we've got this one where the chorus is like, woohoo! And then it brought to mind the first album I ever bought was Hanson and Mbop.
Oh, wow.
So you've got Mbop, woohoo. Something was great in 1997. This song always makes me think of a memory I have with my uncle, who's more like an older brother. We're close in age. Do you remember on like the family computer on Microsoft, there was like that sound recorder program? You just could record with a microphone.
Yeah.
I remember we recorded this song from the CD and we were able to like increase the speed. So we increased the speed, which made it like a minute long, and it sounded like Alvin and the Chipmunks
Awesome.
freaking out. And for some reason, that was the funniest thing to us. And we would just sit there and just play it over and over again. Woohoo! Great. Good stuff. Classic song.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. I love me some Blur. Okay, our last episode, I made it very clear that my favorite band is Evanescence. So I would be remiss if I didn't include one of their songs, Broken Pieces Shine by Evanescence. You know, this was a difficult one because everyone knows Bring Me to Life. And, you know, that's kind of like the go-to if you think of Evanescence. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people know that or some other stuff from 20 years ago. But it was important for me to show that Evanescence is still around and rocking in 2023. So I give you Broken Pieces Shine. What were some of your thoughts?
It's awesome. I love the chord progression for this, for the chorus and the break. Mm-hmm. Because to my ear, like where my ear thinks this song should go would be back to a minor chord, but they actually I think they keep it in a major. Mm-hmm. And it just gives it, what did I write down? Like a feeling of hope, or
yes.
there's a different, it's not as sad. Mm-hmm. It's not as dire.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought that was really cool. That's what stood out to me with this song. And of course, Evanescence. This is another one, if you hadn't picked them, obviously you're going to pick them. If you hadn't picked them, I would have picked a song of theirs. But yeah, I just thought, really cool song.
That makes me happy. Yeah, it's cool that you picked up on that because I feel like that's a huge difference in the Evanescence of current or like present day than back in 2003. There's a lot more of like a subtle hope in their delivery. Yeah. And this song, I mean, there's a lot of noteworthy lyrics. Survival hurts, but I keep breathing in. I'm alive. And then the chorus, I'm not fine. I don't know if I will be all right, but I have to try. I know you're with me. So what if we do fall apart, give into all that we are, and let all the broken pieces shine? I love that. And it's cool because I feel like it paints a cool mental picture. Like I think of broken pieces of glass making or being put together to form like some disco ball.
Right. Right.
And it's cool. And yeah, cool rocking song. I love Will's drumming on this. The it's really cool. And then the way it ends is like just a subtle shine, and like her, like she has like a vibrato in her voice. Just cool, powerful song. Love it. And it's cool. It's actually not a single, but
Right.
it's just a really good, solid song. Love me some Evanescence. Got to get comfortable because another Smashing
Here we go.
Pumpkins, Cherub Rock. Oh yeah, I saw this on your list, and yeah. Again, I feel like if you hadn't picked a Smashing Pumpkins song,
Okay.
I would have. This was a very good choice.
It's great. It's great. This one. Another one learned. I think that's another thing that I was picking too. These are all songs that I've at least attempted to play on guitar. Some of them I can, some of them I cannot, but at least I tried. Yeah, this one, I love this one. I love this riff. I love the way that the guitar sounds in this. It's fuzzy.
Yeah,
It's got this cool distortion sound to it. It's heavy, but it's warm at the same time. I love the progression. They're like happy chords. It's awesome. What else did I say about this? Yeah. The drums on this.
Yeah.
Cool. So good.
I love in the beginning the, and it's like almost a minute before you hear vocals. And one of the notes that I put in this song was just like, if I had to listen to an instrumental of the song, I feel like it would be just as gripping and mesmerizing of a listen. And that's something that I've always appreciated about Smashing Pumpkins is you've got great songs, but you just have good just music. Billy Corgan knows how to write a good song. And yeah, I love this song. It's really great. 1993, and we're still jamming to it. That's 30 years ago.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
No, I refuse to.
Yeah. This is like one of those songs. I think one of the first songs I played on Rock Band. I think. Fun times. R.I.P.
I played it in real band.
I'm not that cool. That's awesome. Yeah, great song. I love the Smashing Pumpkins, and I'm happy that you picked them or this song. All right. Fall Out Boy. Had to include Fall Out Boy on this. And this is The Phoenix by Fall Out Boy, which was on their comeback album from their first hiatus. One word, adrenaline. Notice how when you hear this song, the guitars take like a back seat in the track, but it still like gives you that rock feel. I love that. I love the lyrics. One of my favorite things about Fall Out Boy is Pete Wentz' lyric songwriting style. He's a genius at coming up with one-liners. Like, put on your war paint. You are a brick tied to me that's dragging me down so we can take the world back from the heart attacked. I'm going to change you like a remix. Then I'll raise you like a phoenix.
Yes.
And then the last one that I put, wearing our vintage misery. No, I think it looked a little better on me. Heather, what do you think about this song?
I love this classical element to this song. I love Patrick Stump's voice. I've always thought he's been an incredible singer. I love that he can go between this like loud, raspy voice and then at the same time then switch it immediately to a falsetto and still have the same power with it.
So much control.
Yes. Yeah, just awesome singing. Again, yes, awesome lyrics. I really love the drum beat in this too.
Yeah.
It's energy. It's
got
awesome.
that kick, that kick drum, but then in the chorus it's got like a unique rhythm that he's keeping there. One of the cool facts that I saw or that I discovered in this was with that string arrangement, it's performed by the London Symphony Orchestra. It was suggested by Patrick Stump because he was influenced by the sound of the fourth movement of Dmitri Shostakovich's Leningrad Symphony. I hope I pronounced that right, but when I looked
Dimitri.
Dimitri, but when I looked it up, it was really cool to see where Patrick was pulling his inspiration from, but still like form this awesome track around it. Yeah, we love Fall Out Boy here at Failsafe Radio. Good stuff. And hearing this song live and seeing the fire they put on the stage and everything, it's an experience.
Oh, that's right. You did see it live, didn't
I did.
you?
Yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
Man, the first time we saw this live, my wife looked over at me and was like, "We've been to a lot of concerts, but I've never heard you so loud before." And I'm like, "It's Fall Out Boy, babe."
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, very proud of that. So yeah. Okay. Chevelle, the Red.
Yes.
So this is funny because when I was listening back, I was like, "Oh, I'm so glad I chose Chevelle the Red." And then I kept realizing, wait, Heather chose this one. So I'm so glad you chose this song.
Okay. Yeah,
it's
this
a great
one, right? Oh, man. This song, Anger Management.
In the best way.
In the best way. This is good. This is, what do you call that? Oh, what's the word I'm looking for?
What you got? Anger management.
It's good anger management, like what we just said.
Yeah.
But this song is cool. This might be, well, I guess the Evanescence one was maybe a little bit slower, but this one is a slower tempo, but still has just the same amount of emotion as the other ones.
Absolutely.
In fact, probably even more so because you're really sort of focusing in, because it's not so loud and fast and stuff like that, you're really focusing in on it. But yeah. The way he sings, love it. Love it.
It's almost more like a growl, but it's still like a scream, like in that realm. Very urgent. And again, like when he does it, the choice is just so right for that part. I love Chevelle, and I've always appreciated their ability to have an aggressive sound, but at the same time, Pete's vocal delivery is just so smooth and calm. And fun fact about me is I've always found Chevelle to be a relaxing band. So like I'd always listen to this album when needing to wind down, or sometimes when I just couldn't sleep, I'd put this on and I'd fall asleep. And I just remember like telling some of my friends, and they're like, "That's so weird, dude." Like, but I don't know, like it's cool. Like you said, Chevelle, it's a slower tempo, slower feeling song, but it's still rocking. And
I love the upper harmonies too.
Yeah.
Of the chorus there.
And then the palm muted guitar riff, the dum 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 dum. I love that. Great stuff. Yeah. It's weird to imagine that a lot of these songs that we chose are as old as they are.
Yeah.
Because, what is this, 2002? And I feel like this album, for a lot of us at that time, I feel like this album was a staple in everyone's album collection. Like it was one album you saw everyone have. It's great. So I was glad to see this on the list.
This album is old. We're not old.
Exactly. The album is old. We are not. We refuse to age.
It's a classic. Yeah, we refuse to age. That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I picked. I was gonna make this side point. Pretty sure I've picked all singles on mine. And I appreciate that you did not. You picked some on here, some deep tracks on here, and I appreciate that.
That's cool. I mean, that's what I'm here for. There you go. Like I said before, hopefully some of these, if you've heard of some of these bands, maybe it's a song you haven't heard of. Just introducing something new. And rock, I have a feeling that rock's about to make a comeback. Or it's like the what is it? Not the metronome. The
pendulum?
Yes, the pendulum's about to swing back in rock's favor.
That would be cool.
On that note, There for Tomorrow, The Verge. This was a song I chose. I think I've shown you a few songs by an artist named Micah. This is the band that I know him from.
Okay.
He was the front man, guitarist, and vocalist. So this is a band from my teenage years, and I absolutely love the intro to this song. So moody, and there's like a drowned out, distorted guitar, and then they slowly come into focus, and then Micah's vocals come in, and when the band comes in and they just rock out, it feels good. Here's a band I feel like was so tight and in tune with each other in this moment, and you can really hear it in this song. They do an incredible job musically with this song, and you listen to Micah's vocal in the opening verse, how it starts off so tender and maybe like on the verge of falsetto, and then he gives it a nice rasp in the second. I hope it was a lie. What'd you think of this song?
This is an awesome song,
Yeah?
dude. Awesome song. So I just had a little side note on this. That opening melody reminds me of Royals by Lorde.
Really?
We didn't come from money. I can't remember exactly how
The vocal melody?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear that. Yeah. That's awesome.
I don't know. It just hit my ear like that.
Someone should do like a mashup.
Yeah, right? I think so. Yeah, this is a cool, another cool progression. It stays in the in major, a major chord progression, gives it an upbeat mood to it. And then I think for the break, they actually switch it to a minor chord, which I really like. I always like it when people do the opposite of maybe what your ear thinks.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying, your brain and your ears are trying to guess where it's going. And then
when
they
it's
switch it. And I'm like,
love
I
that.
like that.
When it's
I like that.
unexpected, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yes. So, yeah. Cool
yeah.
song.
There's that moment after the second chorus when everything fades except for the guitar riff. And then the line, we're on the verge, and it starts building. Brace yourself for some kind of redemption. Yes. This was, I think this was their second full-length album. And I remember when this came out, I was just like such a proud fan because it was like, Therefore Tomorrow is going to be so huge and it's awesome. Like they're growing up and they're maturing. Such a good album. If you've never listened to Therefore Tomorrow, or you've never listened to this album, do it. It's called The Verge. Excellent song. There for Tomorrow Forever. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
1999? Pardon Me by a band called Incubus.
Yep.
We're not going to focus on the band name. We're going to focus on the song. This song has so many cool choices in it. I'm going to let you take it off first.
I was in love with this song when I was 18.
Yeah. And you still are?
I still am.
Love at first listen?
Mike Eisinger, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's the guitar player. He is incredible. He definitely influenced me. His style influenced my style. I very much like the way he plays. It's very choppy, very rhythmic. I think even in his guitar, his electric, or the ones that I always remember him playing were like hollow body guitars, which are similar to acoustic guitars. I think that's probably why my ear was like, ooh, I can kind of relate to that, what he's doing there. Yeah, and this one, learned it, tried to repeat his style and stuff like that. This song is phenomenal, the way he plays and stuff like that. What I wrote something on here. They did an acoustic EP that had this.
Oh, really?
Acoustic version of the song, and I was like, thank you.
That's right up your alley.
So yeah, I've been playing this song forever. Yeah, just really cool song, great energy to it, great to sing along to, scream along to. What was I gonna say? Something else. Oh, here, the turntables, right?
Yep, I was gonna bring that out.
That sound takes me back to the 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
I am right there in my 20s again with the 2000s. So, yeah, just love it. Awesome song.
I want to say, when I hear this song, I want to say that I remember you playing it like frequently at places. Was this a song that you'd play when people would be like, perform a song? Because I remember like you were my introduction to them and their sound. And I think you bought me their greatest hits at one point.
Ooh.
And yeah, like, when I hear this song specifically, I'm always like, yeah, I can hear how it influenced your songwriting in a good way. It's cool. Yeah, my first note that I put in was Chris Kilmore's use of his turntables. It comes across as part of the instrumentation. Like, if you were to take out those turntables, I don't think it would be the same song.
Nope.
It wouldn't hit the same. And I think that's so cool for someone to do that. It shows like a really good skill.
It totally fits. It totally fits in there. It's funny because it's like it's rhythm. It delivers rhythm to the song, but also a bit of melody to it.
Yeah,
It's just such a cool thing to do.
It's a cool choice. I loved it. And then one thing I was going to say also is the contrast between like the straightforward, typical rock chorus, but then the rapid speaking rap of the verses. Like when I remember when I first heard the studio version of this song, like it took me aback because like it starts off and you're like, oh yeah, like I know what to expect. But then when he comes in, you're like, oh, that's cool. And it really gives like that feel of you're listening into his thoughts, the singer. And can we talk about Dirk Lance's bass line in the song? Man, there's so much going on in this song, but it just fits so well. And it's a unique sound of a song in a good way. It's cool. I'm glad you chose this one. Good stuff as always. If you need good music, you just ask Heather and she's got you.
I'll give you something.
Yeah. All right. There's also a band, a little known band called Muse. Hysteria. Chris Wolstenholme's bass line. Are you kidding me? Come on.
So good.
And then you've got those pulsing drums from Dominic and then Matt Bellamy's falsetto. And not to mention, on top of his falsetto, he's playing that guitar that you're hearing. Excellent. For a three-piece band, I've always been awestruck at how they're able to have such a massive sound.
Yes.
Even from their early days, Muse has always just been like a massive sounding band. And I love that. What'd you think of this one?
That bass line. Do you know anybody who's actually listened to Muse who doesn't like them? Who isn't like somehow on some level very much impressed by them?
Yeah.
They're incredible. Yeah, three-piece band, huge wall of sound, epic band. Yeah, from the singing, guitar, bass, drums, it's all there. It's incredible. I like their sound to me is rock, but it also has some element of almost like electronic music or something like that to it. It's not. There's just a mix of like a bunch of different stuff, and that's always what has stood out to me about them. It almost sounds like electronic style, I guess, or techno or whatever, however you want to call it. But very cool.
There's always that element there mixed in somehow. Sometimes it's a little stronger, sometimes it's in the background, but it's always there. Before I go into my thoughts of this song, I thought it was cool to find out that the bass line from this song was voted the best of all time in a poll run by Music Radar. So, yeah, I mean, when you hear that intro, you just, like, what? What? Speechless.
Yeah.
Rush's instrumental YYZ came as a close second, and then there were 2 entries from Queen next. Another One Bites the Dust and Under Pressure. All great choices, but come on.
I would pick this one as number 1.
Yeah. I liked how, the Music Radar said that the bass line takes center stage with his intricate processed riff, driving the sing-along and providing a fat bedrock for Matt Bellamy's guitar histrionics. And yeah, this song is just incredible. Like they're jamming and it's wow. Like I chose this song because just listen to it. Like musically, it's almost unlike anything you've ever heard.
Yeah. And
I mean, I think the only thing you could compare it to would be another Muse song.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And I think that takes a certain level of talent in the musical landscape that is, if it's not evident by now, one of the things I ask from a song is to give me an experience, and this song delivers quite the experience. Speaking of experience in music, Machine Head by Bush. Classic guitar riff here. Yeah. This is an example. I know it's your choice, but I just wanted to say...
Go for it.
This is an example of why I love doing a podcast with someone else rather than just by myself. Because here we have a song that I've been familiar with just surface level. Like you play it and I'm like, oh yeah, I know that guitar riff. But I never took the time to listen deeply or pay attention to the song itself. And I feel like each episode you give me an opportunity to dive into something new.
Well, at least one of us is doing that. That's good.
No, I like that. It's cool. Great song. Why'd you pick it?
Oh, just another one that I learned. Another one that's fun to play.
Yeah.
Another one that you say, pick a rock song. Okay. I tried Machine Head. Yeah, this riff, very cool. Very cool. And yeah, I can actually play this song on guitar.
Nice.
I love that the chorus for this song, it sort of empties out, dies down a little bit, and then I forget exactly how the words go. But anyway, they build back up night and then picks up right back into the riff and the full band and stuff like that. So yeah, just another one that's song of my youth.
I think it's cool. This song, to me, I feel like the driving force is the guitar riff, and like everything else just kind of like focuses on that or like enhances that. Even to the end, because I think it like fades out and you can just still hear the guitar mainly. Yeah, incredible song. And I felt like I know some Bush songs, but like really taking the time to listen to this song, it motivated me to check out some more Bush. And I'm excited for that.
That's awesome.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, all of these, I feel like all of my picks, it's really just the energy of each of these songs. Yeah, really like just get you pumped up, or you need to release some frustration or just something like that. The energy that each of these songs bring, that's pretty much like where my focus was on wanting to pick them. But yeah, this is another one. It's just really fun to play. It's fun to sing. It's one that everybody knows. If you're gonna play it for people, like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool with this batch of songs. I felt like something that I could see with all of them together is they make a really good like road trip or driving soundtrack. Just good energy, just good vibes all around, and it's I could see myself driving and just like enjoying these 20 songs. So yeah, good stuff. All right, we included a Flyleaf song, Chasm, and yeah, I love Flyleaf, and another band that I felt like we can't have a rock album or a rock playlist episode and not include Flyleaf. This one, I chose this one because the guitar melody is so unique in the song. That and then with Lacey's vocals, it's almost like they're, I don't know, like it's an alternative melody to each other, but they're like working together, and the aggressive drums, it's almost like a dark march or something.
Yes.
Good stuff. What'd you think of this one?
Yeah, that's exactly what I put down too. This marching feel to this song is very cool. Again, awesome guitar riff, and they're very rhythmic. And then her melody that she sings on top of it, different but works right along with it. So yeah, very cool.
Something that I've admired about Flyleaf when you listen to their instrumentation is they always have unique guitar melody choices. When you listen to their material, they don't tend to give you straightforward chords. There's always just something unique, whether it's playing just a note here or just making sounds for like a soundscape or just something, or the choice of distortion. It's never just straightforward, and I love that. And then there's an instrumental moment after the second chorus, and it sounds like a little bit of chaos with Lacey's vocal ad-libs, but it's a cool kind of chaos before the final chorus, and it's just cool. They really know how to paint a picture musically, and you can really just feel it in this song. So it's cool.
Look at my head.
I know, you're enjoying it. It's good. I've done my job well. Did you have any other thoughts on that one?
Oh, just cool. Yeah, this rhythm, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah, good stuff. Great band. Oh, Little Jimmy Eat World, a praise chorus featuring Davey Von Bolen. This was a song I was unfamiliar with before he sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
But I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
What you got?
This is a happy energy song. It's the one that you can be happy when you,
Was this a single?
I don't think so. Oh, yeah. I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
Yeah, it was this one, and the middle I think was their big one off of.
See, I know the
album.
middle.
Yeah,
but I didn't know this one.
Man, yeah, I just love. I'm like smiling listening to this song.
This is a good feel-good song.
Yeah,
good energy.
Yeah.
What you got?
I love the part where they do the crimson and clover over, and then there's other they're all different song references and lyrics and stuff, and they're all kind of like blended together. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was my main note from this song was genius bridge. Because bear with me, I thought it was important to list all the references.
Okay, yeah.
Crimson and Clover is a reference to Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Our House in the Middle of the Street refers to Our House by Madness. Why Did We Ever Meet refers to The Promise Ring, who the vocalist guest vocals on this song.
Nice.
Started My Rock and Roll Fantasy is a reference to Bad Company. Don't Let's Start from Don't Let's Start by They Might Be Giants. Why Did We Ever Part comes from All of My Everythings Again by The Promise Ring. And Kickstart My Rock and Rollin' Heart refers to Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. So it's basically a love ode to the bands and artists that inspired Jimmy Eat World. And I'm here for it. I love it. Genius how they were able to do that. And it works. It's cool. And then like they said that it's a public service announcement to people who go to concerts. Love it. I love my concerts. Yeah, great chorus. I'm on my feet. I'm on the floor. I'm good to go. Now all I need is just to hear a song I know. I want to always feel like this part or like part of this was mine. I want to fall in love tonight. Could you capture the magic of experiencing a live concert any better? Come on. Hundreds of strangers sharing an experience, sharing the love of music that has somehow touched them or affected them, all feeling like they belong in that moment and that moment is theirs. Come on. Nice. I'm so glad that I now am aware of this song because, yeah, great stuff. And feel good song.
I love just one little other thing about this song. I don't think the drums ever stop. I know that it goes into this part where maybe it's just on the toms or something like that, but just it's this constant beat. I just really like that. It's just, I want to play air drums to this song.
It's like it would make a good song at the end of like one of those 90s rom-coms like comedies where it's just like you can see them dancing in the crowd or at prom or something and just like, yeah, we're all good, everything's great, the guy got the girl, and oh yeah, good stuff. Gotta love Jimmy Eat World.
Jimmy Eat World, that was one like when we talked about doing a featured artist or one that you pick one for me that I'm not familiar with, and I was gonna pick Jimmy Eat World, and then I found out that you already listened to him.
Only recently though, so okay.
You'd be down for that?
I'd be down for that because I feel like I need to get educated in Jimmy Eat World.
Well, I might then.
Yeah, I vote yes.
Okay.
Why not? Stay tuned, folks.
I was gonna pick this band.
Hey, Pink Floyd, for those who aren't watching. That'd be good too. I mean, I'm here for it. See, like I said, you need help? Ask Heather. She's got you. I'd be fine with either pick or both.
Okay. Cool. Well, you probably get both then.
Yeah. Okay. Submersed, Hollow. Here's a song I'm pretty sure 99% of people aren't aware of, from 2004. Around that time, I became not obsessed, but I was very interested in bands that were signed to Wind Up Records because that was the band or the record label that signed Evanescence. And I was like, all right, let me check out like what else they have to offer. And I discovered Submersed, and you hear Donald Carpenter's voice right here. That's what initially caught my attention of Submersed. It's like, how often do you hear falsetto in hard rock? It just caught me off guard, and ever since then I've been a fan of this album. Really good album. What was your takeaway from this
I
song?
just basically have a short version of everything you just
Man.
said. Great guitar riff, great falsetto, nice build for the chorus. It is, though. It's very cool. I was not at all familiar with this band or this song. It's taken me back to 2004, honestly.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
It's a very good time.
Great song. Yeah, great song.
Yeah. Like, there wasn't a whole lot that I had to say about the song other than just the vocals. And I feel like that's what set them apart from others at that time in my eyes. Because it's like, all right, at that time you had a lot of, I don't know, how would you describe this style of rock? Kind of just hard rock, or?
Yeah.
It was just, there were a lot of bands at that time, and so it was like, all right, what sets you apart from everyone else? And I thought his voice brought something unique, where it's just like, okay, he's doing this falsetto thing, and it's almost like a beautiful thing over this gritty instrument of a song, or instrumental. And then near the end, you hear he kind of gets more aggressive and kind of does like a hollow scream too, and it's like, oh, so they've got a lot to offer here. And I felt like they had so much potential that they didn't get to reach, because they released 2 albums, and they were solid albums. And yeah, I'm just glad that I still have these albums to revisit. Good stuff. Great guitar riffs. All right. Foo Fighters, The Pretender.
How good is this song?
Man, great song. Great song choice. Come on. And it's cool that you picked, I kind of view, I mean, it was before their greatest hits collection, but I kind of view The Pretender and then everything after that as kind of like newer Foo Fighters, even though 2007 was a long time ago, 15 years ago. So it was cool that you picked this one, because I knew Foo Fighters was coming. But I expected,
Didn't know which one.
Yeah, I expected something from, one of their earlier albums. So it was cool to see this one. I love this song.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was torn between this one and Best of You. Because I absolutely love both
That's
of
my
these.
favorite Foo Fighters one.
Is it? Yeah. That one, I feel like Best of You is going to be on the Songs That Make Me Cry playlist, because that one just really tears my heart a little bit with that one. That one and the video. The video is incredible too.
I've never seen the
But we're not
video.
talking about that one. We're talking about The Pretender.
We'll save that for later, folks.
Which is also a really cool video.
Yeah. We're going to come back to The Pretender now.
It's getting sidetracked. Because it's Foo Fighters.
It's Foo Fighters.
I basically picked this one because of the sort of grungy attitude of it, I guess, or kind of bitiness of it, I guess. I don't know.
It's very in your face.
Yes. Love Dave Grohl's singing on this one, scream singing. And the chord progression, very cool. I feel like this one is a very unique sound, chord progression and use for Foo Fighters. But that's that little stop right there. That sounds like Foo Fighters, but that beginning intro where it's just the guitar, a lot of, I don't know, minor seventh, I don't know. By the way, I know just enough about music theory to not know what I'm talking about.
Oh, same here. I mean, I've got a note later on coming up where I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is going to be like too like music nerd theory stuff, but I'm very glad that throughout the episode you've been bringing things up, because I personally am a fan whenever you bring stuff up like that.
Well,
like,
that's cool, because that's like
chord, changing the chord and stuff. Like, give us more of that.
I know. Like when I listen to songs, that's what I hone in on is what instruments are they playing, what chords are they playing, what's the melody on top, how are they singing it. It's very much music oriented, even more so than like lyrics or anything like that. I'm always like music first, and actually I mean that spills over into like how I write, because you always do music and all that stuff first, and however the music goes, that's what I'm gonna write, or the feeling that I'm gonna write with. But anyway, Foo Fighters. But I just thought this is like a very unique sound for them.
Yeah.
The way the song goes.
It's very Foo Fighters, but again, it is a very unique sound. I loved how, I think you mentioned it starts off quiet and simple, but then it gives you that greatest slap a listener can receive from a rock song. Yeah. And then it calms down a bit, but then it builds to another climb, and then another strip back quiet moment, and then one last boom. It's cool. Very, very well thought out structure in this song. And yeah, it did come out in 2007, and I think this song is around the time that kind of made me pay attention and kind of look into Foo Fighters on my own terms. I remember growing up, my dad never was a huge Foo Fighters fan. He was always like, oh, they've got a good song here or there. But then I had two uncles who absolutely loved everything they put out from Foo Fighters. And I believe 2007 was a time in my life where I started diving into 90s rock on my own. And Foo Fighters was one of the like later bands that I dove into, especially in 2009 when their greatest hits was released. So this and Best of You and My Hero, I think, were like the first three that were like, okay, like Foo Fighters, there's something there that I like. So let me see what else they got going. And I feel like Foo Fighters was a huge influence for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The color and the shape, I want to say that came out in 97. I don't know. Around that time, I was like 15. I wanted to seriously start playing guitar. And then that album, tried to pick apart some of the songs from that album, got like the songbook and stuff, and tried learning some stuff. Very much influential, that band. Yeah, Dave Grohl. Oh, the whole band is incredible. But yeah Dave's my guy.
Here's a question. Foo Fighters or Nirvana?
Oh, Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Only because of the timing. I think if I had been older when Nirvana hit, if I had been 15 when Nirvana hit, I would have been like, oh, Nirvana. But because I was at that right age and Foo Fighters were like right there, I think that's why.
Oh.
Because Nirvana's incredible.
Yeah, I love both of them.
Yeah.
But I'd agree
they're
with you.
Both, they're both different. They both have different feelings and vibe or whatever, however you want to call it. I'm definitely Foo Fighters oriented.
Yeah, they're more my vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
That was very personal.
I love it. Let's get personal. We're just prepping everyone for what was it that you said? The songs that make me cry episode. Just get ready, folks. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. Music Box by Thrice. Here's another deep cut that I chose. I love Thrice. They're another one of those like harder bands. They used to be more leaning towards the screamo, but then like as they've progressed, they incorporate singing and melody too. This album in particular, Visu, I remember was a very controversial album in the way that it was very experimental. They tried a lot of things, and I remember getting so much flack for loving this album. All my buddies were like, that album's trash. They need to go back to their old sound. But for me, it was like, no, this is there's something here. And I feel like this album has aged so well in my book. Yeah, it was just so cool. And one of the things that always caught my attention was that music box melody. And then when the band comes in around that melody, it was just, I remember so distinctly the first time I heard this song, and just being like, whoa, that's a cool moment. And I remember I had like some broke down keyboard from JCPenney and it had like a little music box sound. And I remember like trying to make something of my own. Never happened, but it's cool. This is a song that like, we don't make hard music together, but this is a song where I kind of like always go back to if I need inspiration.
Jonathan, now that's personal. That's awesome. And look at what year it came out. You're 15, right?
I was 15.
See,
yeah.
the 15s.
15 is a good year. before I get more long-winded, what'd you think of this song?
Just the same as you. I love the music box element and the song that is built around it. That was a very cool choice. It has a classical feel to me. I am not really. I mean, I know who Thrice is. I've heard of the band, but I haven't really listened to their music.
Sure.
But taking this song, Thrice music box, I think it's very cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
Someone
really
stop
cool.
us now.
It's complex and interesting, so that was really cool.
Yeah. I think it's cool to. I feel like I always say this when I have a fact. I think it's cool, or I thought it was cool. That's something I'm noticing while we're recording this episode.
I think a lot of stuff is cool.
Yeah. A cool fact was where the music box melody came from. I saw that on Thrice's first Japanese tour, the lead guitarist bought a little music box at the gift shop from their hotel. And the melody that came in that music box is a traditional Japanese folk song, Sakura. And he found the melody so inspiring that he wrote a song from it, like around that melody. And they had a hard time recording that music box because it was odd size and it wasn't very like good quality. But they had to consistently continue to crank the box to get it to play in time, and were eventually able to get it to play. And when I looked it up, it was really cool to hear that song when I've been so used to this song and like, we have Patrick Stump earlier being influenced by a symphony, and then now we have like a rock song that was influenced from a traditional Japanese folk song. It's just cool. The power of music, making great music, and it
just finding inspiration in odd places. Yeah, anything.
So I guess I need to buy you a music box.
There you go.
And then we'll have like a great song come
There has to be some sort of like old fast food, like harmonica, some musical thing that we could use. I'd like to.
Let's look up Arby's.
Yeah, there's got to be some little toy from the 90s.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, let's take our listeners back to the year 1998.
Here we go.
Hemorrhage in My Hands by a band called Fuel. Whew.
It's a good song.
Yeah, and this was a song chosen by you. What do you got to say? It's a great song.
Yeah, this is another one. Broken record over here. Came out, wanted to learn it on guitar. Learned it on guitar. Pretty sweet. Brett Scallion's voice. Love his voice, the way he sings. He's got almost like a southern drawl to it or something.
Yeah.
Like a southern growl. Oh, that right there. I love but I love it when he can hit those raspy high notes. I don't know. Love Fuel.
Yeah.
Anything else on this? The progression is awesome too. This was one of the first songs. It's a arpeggio, I think is what it's called. It's when you pluck the strings individually to create a melody like that. I was like, ooh, what's that? Because I've only been strumming.
Yeah.
So that's was another cool thing about this. Learned how to do arpeggio.
That's cool. Because my first note that I wrote was, when I hear this song, I think of, it reminds me it's something that 2008 Heather would write. I don't know why. It's just, and that's like a compliment, because I'm, again, I feel like every episode I say this, I'm such a fan of your songwriting skill that when I hear songs that remind me of your style, it's like, oh yeah, that's a good song. It's cool.
Well, I took you back. What was that, episode 2 with the old? What was that song? Restless Heart.
Oh yeah, Restless Heart.
Take you way back to the beginnings of the songwriting experience. But yeah, the chord progression of this one's definitely one that I emulate for sure.
And it went from Restless Heart, and now we're at Fuel. So here we go.
Yep.
I thought the background story to this song was so moving. They did a show on VH1 Storytellers, and he revealed that the lyrics reflected his feelings toward the passing of his grandmother from cancer. When the doctors found out she had cancer, it was too late. It had spread. So instead of sitting in a hospital room, she wanted to go home. And after some months passed, obviously the cancer spread even more. And there was one day that was particularly harder for her. She turned to his mom and asked, "How do you die?" And it was such a crushing moment and memory for him and his mom that the only way that he could sort through the emotions was to write a song. Mm-hmm. And he wrote a song called Hemorrhage to get through that moment and that time. And it started off as a completely different song. And he mentioned that only 1 or 2 people have ever heard that actual song. But he felt that the original song was too heavy of a topic to be on radio, so he adapted it and changed it to relate more to a relationship, but kept the name Hemorrhage. Mm-hmm. And I think hearing the background story of this song really, for me, it helps me understand the song that we have today, why it resonated with so many at the time. Because I feel like this song was everywhere when it first came out. And even though he adapted it, that emotion originally behind it bled through, and you can't fake that emotion. And great song.
Yes.
Great.
Yes,
Another
yes.
great song. Yeah, I'm here for a revival of bands with this sound, or like if they were to come back, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. And that brings us to our next song, Lacuna Coil from Italy. Their song Our Truth from the album Karma Code. Okay, this is where I get a little music nerdy, because this song... So, yeah, let me just start off with, this song is based off of the Phrygian mode, which is the 3rd mode of the major scale in music. Bear with me here. Which means that if you take any major chord and start it from the 3rd note, it gives you the Phrygian scale. Now, when you hear this song, it may remind you of certain cultures, or maybe like film scores. And that's because Phrygian modes are characteristic of Egyptian and Arabic music. So that's why you get that feeling from this song. So you've got a song based off of that scale. On top of that, you hear a shamisen, which is a Japanese stringed instrument being played in the opening and ending of the song. And if that wasn't enough, you can also hear a faint sitar during the verses. Why do I bring all this up? Well, I thought that really sums up why I chose this song, because I thought that this song brings something very unique and cool to the table of this batch of songs. And it's just so good.
Yes.
It's so good. What'd you think of this?
This one's my favorite pick.
Really?
Of yours. Absolutely.
Oh, cool.
I love this one. This one, just that international feel to it.
Yeah.
This one totally stands out.
Cool.
From the entire playlist. Still rock. Still got that heavy dun 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 dun, feel to it. But yeah, just this unique melody on top of it.
Yeah.
And I love this little side. I love the little fake outro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like you're losing the radio
tuning.
station, and then it comes back in. I like that. And then you're like, oh, and then it's over. So yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, it's such a cool song. And it's never been a song that I've gotten tired of since it came out. I love the vocal ad-libs. It's just a powerful song. You know, I love my bass in songs, and right now we're hearing the bass solo. How many times do you hear a bass solo in music now? Just a cool experience of a song, and it's just, yeah. That makes me happy that you like this one. That's cool. It was like one of those ones where I'm like, do I include it? Do I not? I have to include it. So cool.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, it totally is unique in its own way, and then on this list.
Yeah, and they're an Italian band, so you have all that background of what I mentioned, and then you can hear slightly their Italian accents in their English singing, and it's cool. It's like you don't hear anything like this, and yeah, I'm here for the unique experience. Okay. Stone Temple Pilots, Interstate Love Song. Classic musical intro for me.
Yep.
Great song. Okay, you're up.
I just have the same stuff to say because I picked all the same kind of songs. They're all songs that I learned on guitar.
That's awesome. I feel like this episode's really giving us a picture of, or into the mind of Heather, like the creative mind. That's cool.
It's all 90s and early 2000s. Give me throw some turntables in there, and we got a deal.
Throw some Sade as well.
So yeah, just all of it in there. Yeah, that chord progression, awesome. This one, I would say, this chord progression is the hardest thing that I know how to play on guitar. Just
why is that?
The shapes of the chords that he's playing on there are very difficult, especially
Really?
if you have little stubby fingers to get around there. And well, I guess he might be playing it. Yeah, this one it's all electric. There's also an acoustic version too, which of course I play acoustic, so probably a little bit harder to play, but I'm proud though. Like, oh yeah, I can kind of play this one well. If I actually practiced more, I'd be on it.
That's cool.
But yeah, this one, this is just another one. Signature riff. I think it's a song pretty much everybody would know. I like the southern rock feel to it.
Yeah.
Just love it. Great song.
It's interesting that you say it's the hardest song that you know how to play, because one of the notes that I put is it has such a simple structure. At least just on the surface, you look at it, it's intro, verse, chorus, done. But within that, there's so much there, and it's a really good song. And I mean, it's about, he wrote it from the perspective of his wife, knowing that he was lying about not continuing to struggle with his heroin addiction. And when you look at it through those lenses, it's just like the depth of these lyrics and stuff. It's a great song. The 90s, the 90s, there was something about 90s rock. It's cool. I feel like it's a good mix of 90s rock on this playlist mixed with like mid 2000s, early 2000s.
Yes.
Good times. Have we come to our last song already?
Yep.
Man, I guess time flies when you're having fun. Famous Last Words, My Chemical Romance. Now I have to start off by saying, I'm not a huge My Chemical Romance fan, but you can't deny the power of this song. I had a really good, I have a really good friend who's always been a My Chemical Romance fan, and we'd have good, like, deep conversations on like comparing My Chemical Romance to Fall Out Boy, which it's funny because now it's just like we can like both. It's fine. But I just remember in 2006, the first time I heard this song, I was like, all right, they've got something special there. I don't know if it's because it sounds different than the rest of their catalog or what, but this song has always resonated with me. And it's so good. It's so good. I love it has like a cool build and just a good feel throughout. And then, it's like a straightforward rock song. But then there's like that, one of the notes that I put is something that I envy about songs like this are what I refer to as alternate melodies. I don't know if that's the correct term, but you have the chorus melody, I am not afraid to keep on living, and then after the bridge, I see you lying next to me. They put them on top of each other, and I don't understand how it works, but it does, and it's just so cool. And then I reward this my chef's kiss of the episode. It's something that I'd love to try and tackle someday, is like alternate melodies on top of each other and making them work. So yeah, that's a little bit of what I thought of this song.
Yeah.
What you got?
I love the his voice.
Yeah.
He's got some scream to it, but it's mostly singing. I don't know. It's. I think he has a very like unique sounding voice. I think his voice, the melody, the music, all of it absolutely works together. I love that little guitar riff when all the music cuts out. It's like that's really cool. I feel like this is another one that you can sing along to, kind of scream along to.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially the ending.
Yes. So yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Here's a song that's fueled by a real story. It was frontman Gerard Way wrote this song for the bassist, who was also his brother, Mikey. While recording this album, Mikey temporarily left the band due to severe anxiety, but agreed to resume working with them once he heard this track. And it was basically Gerard's song to him, hence famous last words. But we have a song that's fueled by a real story, carried along by real emotions, real instrumentation, no midis or anything like that. And it just gives you a feeling of urgency that's so sorely missing in today's music. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of today's youth gravitate towards bands like Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance. You have an understanding of the emotions that you feel as a teenager that we experienced as teens, that we saw in bands of our youth, that they're not getting, I guess, from the music scene. So it's like they're still looking for that, and they're finding it maybe through TikTok or YouTube or whatever. But yeah, and that's why I still love music from my time too. It's just like, man, yeah.
It's funny how it's like just these certain amount of years that it just sort of locks in, and you're like, yeah, that was my scene. That's where it is. Yeah,
And it's cool. Really true, like the good old days, you don't know they're the good old days until they're gone. But yeah, and it's cool to see certain ones that are still around from those time periods. Like Foo Fighters is still alive and well. We've got Evanescence and but you still have timeless albums that you can continue to listen to and enjoy. And and now we have a playlist of 20 songs that we are sharing with each other and with you, our listeners, to hopefully get a little taste of rock. And that concludes our discussion of these 20 songs. How are we feeling?
Awesome. It feels good. Feels real good. I love every single song on this playlist.
Yeah,
so.
This is definitely a playlist that I'm proud of, that we curated, and yeah, it's very strong. Good stuff. I was thinking that our next episode could focus on singer-songwriter artists.
Okay.
So
I can do that.
Stay tuned for that. Singer-songwriter, I think we'll have a good mix as well of options for you to check out. But as always, to our listeners, if you're listening, if you're watching us through the little shorts or Instagram posts, thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking around with us. And if this is your first time hearing us, we've got 3 other episodes to check out and 3 other playlists that you might enjoy. But we appreciate your time. Continue to like our posts, subscribe to our episodes on our show, and give us feedback. Let us know what songs you liked and what songs you may not have liked, what you feel about this I Wanna Rock playlist. Heather, anything else?
Nope, just thanks.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.